What is up, guys? Welcome back to a new video. And I'm not going to be discussing the event as there is already a review on the event and a tutorial on how to get the maximum amount of points. But I thought, as we have all the info available, I thought it might be a good idea to do a bit of comparisons between this season and the previous season. And I also wanted to point out a few things. Also, do a recap of everything. So let's first of all recap all the dragons. Now, the season is a spring season, and we obviously have three dragons that add up to the mythic. We have names already. We have Fae Sage. We have Asper being the hunter, the legendary hunter that's going to come out on April 3rd, and then there's going to be Morphos, which is the mythic hunter this time around. Last time it was Algo, being the mythic, and the time before that was Phasmos, so being a sorcerer. So that would make sense. We all expected the trend to follow this way. But let's talk about stats. Now, the only one I have available out of all of them is Abraxas, which is an extra added bonus to all tiers. And this doesn't count towards the mythic at all. It's just an extra right there that they put. And for the first 2 weeks, it was at half price. That was the catch. And if you would have managed to get it at half price on the whole. So if you manage to do it fully at half price, you spend 12,480 sigils instead of the 24,960 that it actually requires. Now, that's what I also wanted to talk to you about. I think that going for Abraxas was a mistake. If you're going for the mythic, going for Abraxas is a mistake. Because first of all, he doesn't count towards anything, and yes, he is attractive at first, but he attracts you first because of looks. Let's be honest. Out of the two that were available, so Fae and Sage, Abraxas was the one that was, the most catching one out of them all. And there is a truth to it. I mean, look at it. It reminds us all of Magmor, which, we all were affectionate to. But the problem with that guy is that he was only until the blue tier or something like that. Like, I think he reached 50k or something at max level. So that's why we wanted a stronger dragon that would get to Emerald, but would also deliver with a punch. That's him. He runs some pretty interesting spells, actually. Malefic Breath, Sacrifice, Superheated Breath, and Fire Shield. The only problem with this is that they don't go well together at all. Malefic Breath is a blue spell with a rage cost of 1, and what that does is the actual flamethrower becomes green, and that poisons each defense you're targeting, taking out very little health at the time. I expected it to get a little better over time, over levels. Now mine is level 29 right now. I expected the poison to have more of an effect as the ballista tower does on dragons. I mean, the more you level it up, the more health per second it takes off. That's what I thought it was going to do as well, but it seems not to. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my opinion. I mean, let me know if it's just me, but it doesn't look like it. The superheated breath, it's amazing, but it only lasts for 3 seconds, which is nothing. It's literally nothing. I don't know if that was because maybe more than 3 seconds would have been OP. I doubt it, because 3 seconds, it's way too low, man. They should buff that a little bit. The fire shield is cool and stuff, but okay, reduces incoming damage by 60%. That's very nice, very hot, but yeah, it's still a blue spell. So if with mages you're fucked. And reminder, this guy doesn't have any passive skills, so you're fucked. You're literally fucked. Like, there's no that sucks, because there's no defense you could ignore for a while, because I don't know, like with Algo, for instance, you can ignore the ice turret and the archers. You could just be like, yeah, I'll take that in a bit. Let me take first the, I don't know, the fire turret, the lightning, um, now the flak cannon. Those are the ones that piss you off the most. That's what you want to get rid of right away. So that's why you could sort of prioritize with the others, because it's got a pretty, having a passive skill literally reduces the incoming damage quite a bit, especially with that spell. Sorry, with that defense. And that changes the game completely. And this guy doesn't have anything, so even at level 30 or level 29, whichever level it is, it's still not the same potential that Tyrande has, or I don't know, Snowdrop, or or even Algor had at level 29 at the same level, which is a bit of a letdown. Um, Feels like it tricked us into choosing this dragon because the other two were crap. Well, the other two weren't crap. It's just that they were just repetitive, and Faye is just embarrassing to look at. But yeah, let's that's him. He is gonna get only to level 45 with the Garnet tier. After that, he's gonna evolve to Emerald, but that's not entered into the game. It will be in I think this month. It is that they're gonna put the Emerald tiers in, and it will go up to level 50. And at level 50, I believe, without research, it will reach 18 million 18 point, no, sorry, that's level 45. Level 50, I think it will reach around 21 million, 21, 23, 24 million. I don't know, in that region. But I know that with research, it'll go to 40 million, around 40 million. It's almost going to have, I believe, a level 50 in the Emerald here, almost 900 or almost a million damage per second, which is ridiculous. It's going to have almost 8 million or maybe even 9 million health at level 50, which is also ridiculous. And remember, to get to level 50, you need to have bred a legendary a legendary emerald, which is going to be pretty easy for the people that are already waiting for them, and pretty hard for the people that are still on Sapphire League, like myself. But yeah, pretty much the stats with these three, actually four dragons, is pretty much the same. Um, and I think it also goes for the mythic. It's just the mythic will have a larger overall damage per second, and I think a little bit more buff HP onto it. The spells are a lot better as well. Abraxas is rocking the fire element. We all know that, and yes, he's very expensive to feed, like all others. But let's move on to Faye. We have to cover this, unfortunately, guys. I am so sorry about this that I have to show you this dragon, but it's okay. Faye is gonna rock the exact same stats, level 45 until Garnet, and that's when he's gonna evolve. I think level 46, all the way to 50 is gonna be the Emerald tier. Now you're also gonna need obviously a Emerald Legendary to breed it, and the spells that it's running are Chaos, which is like Tengu, Invincibility Shield, Ice Shock, which is like Phasma's spell, and it doesn't have Rage Claws, which is insane, and Lightning Resist. Those are pretty sweet. The spells on this guy are actually pretty insane. Maybe if it wasn't that ugly, I would have actually gone for him. Out of even though I hate sorcerers, I would have gone for Faye. For sure, like for sure, I would have gone for this guy. Too bad he looks like crap. Well, he looks like a fucking clown. This guy's branch is a total cost of 24,960 because there was no discount. And believe it or not, it is 4,500 sigils more expensive than the previous season. So the previous season, the branches were 20,460. So that's times three, that's 61,380. That would have been the total cost to get the mythic. Now, this season, it's a little more different, as you have 4,500 per branch more. Times that by three, you have 13,500 more sigils than the previous season. So that's more than half a branch. More than half a branch. So that's doing 3.5 branches compared to last season. Now, yes, he looks like absolute crap. I mean, Jesus Christ. He looks like an absolute clown. But his spells are good. His stats are going to be good as well, and they're all gonna rock the exact same things. I mean, we also saw them on stream, on Pixel's account, on the actual test on the test program that she was running, and they're all next to each other and they all run the same thing. which is going to be 21 million with no research, and with research it's going to be around 40 million, which is pretty much the same as Algo when he's going to get when he's going to turn to to Emerald, and he's going to get to level 50 as well. Algo, he's going to evolve at level 46. That's when 45 he ends his Garnet career. Now, the next dragon is Sage indeed, and as famously quoted from me earlier on when I first launched him, I said that he looked like a Tyrant on a joint, and he still does. I'm sorry to say this, but he still does. I mean, those leaves around his face and his body just remind me of that. But he is very strong, though. He has extremely good spells, and he has extremely good resists as well. He will rock the Thunderstorm, which is an incredibly strong spell, the Explosive Shield, the Rejuvenate, and the Ice Terror Resist, which is insane. It says there 18.649 million attack power is the max, but it actually isn't, because he also goes to Emerald and he will go to level 50, and he will also reach 21 million, I believe, roughly that region. But the spells are, as I said again, Explosive Shield, the white spell, Thunderstorm, blue spell, they're both worth 2. Super Rejuvenate, which is blue, and it's also a 2. And then Ice Terror Resist. The only difference is Super Rejuvenate is that it actually restores a bit of health quicker in respect to Rejuvenate. It actually used to be white at the very beginning. I don't know if you guys remember. At least on the actual screen, it used to be white. It used to have 2 white spells, and then they changed it. I still don't know why, but they decided to do that. And yes, a lot of people just decided to go with this guy instead of the other two. Some people didn't even go for Abraxas; they just went for Sage right away, which makes sense. Now comes the good part. I think this is probably the one I'm going to go for after I get this unbelievable stone, which is taking me forever to get. For this 4,500 stone right here at the end, it's ridiculous. And yes, you don't only get the stone. That's true. It's like getting, well, it's sort of like getting a $100 pack with what it gives you. I mean, 5,000 breeding tokens, 25 gold chests, and 25 12-hour speed ups. It is almost like a $100 pack or €100 pack wherever you're from. But what we care about is still getting all those sigils. That's still going to take so much time. And this thing is taking me ages to get for Abraxas. And to be honest, I don't even know what to do anymore. I mean, 3,200 sigils is almost the first, I believe, 20 steps. So the first 20 prices I could get, roughly, maybe 16, around 16 or 17. So that's, I could probably get to the gold almost without much. But, anyways, let's move on, shall we? The next dragon is branch 3, which is the Hunter. Now, Asper is a pretty good looking dragon, I think, in my opinion. He reminds me a lot of a phoenix, which is the exact point. His spells are Still Essence, which is a passive skill, Cloak, which is a standard hunter spell with a rage cost of 1. It's a blue spell, we all know that. Resurrection, which is Rising Phoenix, in other words, but just the hunter version, which is a blue spell, and it has a rage cost of 2. The only letdown with this guy is that no white spell. There's no white spell. And after that, it'll have an Ice Terror Resist. So this guy has 2 passive skills, which is pretty amazing. I mean, Still Essence is is very useful, especially at this level. And you could say that Still Essence kind of grants you a white spell, which is, if you destroy any of the turrets, so either the fire turret or the ice turret, you actually get spell flux, which is a white spell technically. And there's a lot of ice turrets and fire turrets nowadays on bases, especially in Diamond League. Jesus Christ, you have no idea. And now they're gonna probably add as well the new spell that you can acquire from the flat cannon. They said it in the stream, but they don't know. They haven't said what spell it is, but it's a new spell, and it's gonna come out. It's not out yet. It's gonna come out with the Emerald here. So as soon as I know anything about that, I will let you guys know. But yeah, it's gonna have the exact same stats as well. He's gonna go all the way to level 50. He looks amazing, I have to say. And yeah, around 21 million with no research, around 40 million with research. And the thing about this guy is you can also put runes on him. The Steel Essence will actually grant you most of the time. Explosive Shield. You can put plenty of runes with that. Also, the cloak will also grant you of a lot of runes as well, and also the all the spells that you can pick up with Steel Essence. It makes like a huge restore of runes that you can apply to this guy. Now the Mythic. Now this is the last guy, right? His name is Morphos. He evolves every level, which is not every level, but I think every evolution stone that you're going to use, I think he evolves. He has a total of, I'm not sure how many, but I think a lot. I have to verify that. I'm going to put them all on the screen though. So, and he's going to have a total of 7 complete evolutions, starting with the first one, which is greenish, and the second one that's a little bit more purple, and he starts gaining color and also starts gaining shape into a butterfly. He starts getting its antennas at the end, starts getting the more prone look on his face. It sort of becomes more aerodynamic, it looks like, and the wings become gorgeous. Here's a picture of the wings. They become absolutely gorgeous. Now, the spells on this guy, as I said, are insane. They're incredibly insane. Frostbite is a passive skill. What this does is every fireball attack is replaced with an ice cycle projectile, which basically freezes every defense you attack. So every fireball you press is a free spell. So that's ridiculous. And they also increase the damage that the building takes by 20%. Shard to Shard goes so well with Frostbite, like they go hands in hands. It's a red spell, rage cost of 2. What that does is every building that's been hit by the Frostbite will explode. Literally, dealing damage to the buildings and regenerating 8% ammo for each building destroyed. So it will even regenerate 8% ammo for each of the building. And ammo is so important to hunters, it's not even funny. Then there's Cloak, which is a classic hunter spell. They always put that on. And then there's Invable, which is like Nightshade's spell, Crumble to Dust. Except this one is white. So this one penetrates everything. Instead, though, the only thing is that it doesn't target 5 buildings like Nightshade. It only targets 2. If you're good at it, you can actually target 3. I think if you target the first 3 of every small island, so small by small island I mean the 5 defense island, so 5 spots islands, you can actually target 3. If you put it very well in the center, you can destroy all 3, and that works with the first one. Makes it reduces the affected tower's damage done by 50% and increases damage taken by 20. And the second one you use blows it up. So if you use 2 on the same, it'll blow it up. This dragon again, they all have the exact same stats. 397, a level 45, but a level 50, this guy will probably become a little stronger as he is a mythic. He will probably have that percentage more either for sure in damage per second. Probably this guy's gonna have 1.2 million damage per second for what I could see from the stream. Like I was a level 48 and he had I think he had 997,000 damage per second at level 48, which was ridiculous. So consider 2 more levels, that will probably add you up. Maybe not 1200, maybe not 1.2 million, sorry, but probably 1.1 in that region for sure. But yeah, this probably covers everything. This covers all the dragons that are out this season, that are out available this season. Tell me what your favorite is. I'm going to try to get one more, but it's going to be pretty tough for me to get it this time. I mean, this time around, it's really about using that ching ching, and yeah, I mean, I've told you previous season, to get all three, you have to spend 61,380 sigils. This time around, to get all three, you have to spend 74,880 sigils. So to get the mythic, you have to spend, as I said, a third, not a third, sorry, one sixth more of what it was supposed to be last season. And trust me, it doesn't sound like much, but when you're adding it all up, it does. Trust me, it really does. And just getting the Emerald Stone every time, I mean, just getting it once. This is my first Emerald Stone, and I'm already getting frustrated. But yeah, and if you also got Abraxas, that's even more. If you got it with the full discount, which you probably did, if you're going for all four, you spend 12,480 more. That's a total of 87,360. Imagine that half price thing wasn't on. The total to get all four to Emerald would have been 99,814. That's excluding the price of the Mythic, because the Mythic will have a branch on its own, and it'll probably cost very cheap, but it will still be some more sigils. Last season, I think it was two. Yeah, it's 250 each, and then 100. So Emerald, Forus, yeah. So yeah, count 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 500, 750, and 250. That's 1,000. That's 1,000 more. Yeah, 1,000 is nothing compared to what we're spending. But yeah, that covers it all, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me who's your favorite, and if you're gonna manage to get the mythic. If so, I would love to see some footage of him as soon as he's out. And as always, guys, take care and peace out.